Oh, hey guys. Oh, I'm so glad to see you again. Oh, look, it's Susan. Hi, Rufus. How are you doing? I'm doing good. I'm so glad to see you guys. Rufus, do you think you could tell us another Bible story about Jesus? Oh man, I would love to. Here, this is called a parable. A parable is a short story that Jesus told that has great meaning. Oh, I'm so excited to hear this parable. Yeah, this parable is about the man who built his house upon the rock. Ooh. Yeah, so here's the story. The Bible tells us that Jesus told a story about a man who built his house upon a rock. So he built his house up on this rock, and then it was big and beautiful, but he had a neighbor who didn't want to build his house on the rock. He wanted to build his house upon the sand. Oh, like oceanfront property, like he's out and he can lounge next to the water and it's beautiful and he can eat fruit by the sand. Yes. Okay, Susan, yes. He was out by the water, whatever, but he built his house on the sand. And here's what happened. One day there was a crazy storm, and the waters, they rose and they rose and they rose, and the person who built his house on the sand, it got real muddy and it got real slushy, and his house came tumbling down. But the person who built his house on the rock, his house stood firm. Oh, because the water couldn't move the rock. That's right. So here's what Jesus is saying. There's lots of things we could build our lives on. We could build our lives on how smart we are, how fast we are, how good we are at talking, how good we are at doing certain things. But the only thing that will keep your life steady is if you build your house on a rock. Well, what does that mean? How do I do that? Well, the Bible tells us that Jesus is the rock. Jesus! That's right. Jesus is the rock that if we built our lives on him, we'll be able to weather any storm, any difficult thing, because we've built our life on Jesus. Well, how do I build my life on Jesus? Well, the Bible tells us that if we follow Jesus, if we live the lives that Jesus has called us to, if we trust in him, then when everything else falls apart, everything else fails us, Jesus will never leave us. He'll never forsake us. And the life of someone who trusts in Jesus, who follows him, looks like someone who is always honest, someone who is good at sharing, someone who listens to their mom and dad, someone who lives a life like Jesus wants them to live. Oh, that sounds awesome. Yeah. And the great news is, our God really will never leave us. He'll never forsake us. He gave everything for you and for me. And if you trust in him, if you follow Jesus, you will be able to weather every storm that comes your way, every hardship, because you know you serve a God who loves you, a God who cares for you, and a God that will never give you up, even in the midst of really hard times. Wow! Oh, that sounds so good. I'm so glad we serve and follow a good God like Jesus. Wow. Amen. Well, guys, I'm so glad I got to hang out with you. God bless you. I'll see you next week. Bye. Bye.